Hi there and welcome to Thursdays with Annette at 2 o'clock. We're live here in Port Macquarie. I'm visiting my beautiful bestie, Kimmy. Come and say hi, Kimmy. Some of you might recognise this beautiful face. Kimmy, you've done all my retreats as a crew and also the art therapy sessions. So I know a few of you will recognise this gorgeous face. She's celebrating her 30th.
Can't you tell?
And I'm excited to be in Port Macquarie. And so Kimmy's crewing today. So thank you, Kimmy.
Okay.
Happy birthday. Can we all say happy birthday? Yay! Look, I'm excited to tell you, last week's show went off. I mean, gosh, who didn't want to be making that mango chicken that I made last week in the kitchen? We had some great feedback, and let me talk about that. First of all, thank you for all the thank yous. We had so many people saying, great to have you back, welcome back, thanks for coming on the show. It's just wonderful each week, I really enjoy it. And so I just wanted to read a couple of the comments that were said, because I read everything you say there, I'm just obsessed with it. Now, Alana wrote, I'm not a good cook, but I've made this and not only did it taste delicious, it also pretty much resembles the picture. So isn't that fantastic? I think that's what I want. I want the recipes to look real. Now, Tammy loves all my tips. Thank you. I love you, Tammy. And she said it makes it all so easy. Thank you. And this is why I'm here every Thursday, to support and help and love you guys to be the healthy, fabulous you. Now, also, a couple of you asked about freezing the mango chicken, which we made out of book 1 last week, and I didn't mention it in the session, so I'm sorry about that. But what it is, the story with anything that has milk in it, which has a cup of evaporated milk in the mango chicken recipe, it really can only be frozen for about 2 or 3 weeks. Now, I say this in all my recipes. You always get to be told on the recipe whether it's suitable to be frozen or not. And the reason is the milk can separate if it's frozen for too long. Like some things you can freeze for 6 months. I mean, some of the stuff in the back of my freezer, I don't know if it's been there maybe 3 Christmases ago. But anyway, let's not worry about that right now. So just remember, a couple of weeks for the milk food that you're making, and you can freeze it happily for that time. Now, Mary said her mouth is watering as she was watching the show. She loved my descriptions, and she said she could even smell it cooking. I love that. So that was fantastic. And a few of you were really glad to know that you could swap the mango over to the apricot. So always remember, guys, that I have variations on so many of the recipes. So always check that out because, you'll get some great tips, like you could do it with beef, chicken, veal, or pork or whatever. It's fantastic. Now, we had the giveaway last week, which was book 1. So let's have a drum roll, please. The winners are the gorgeous Kim White. She was extremely happy to hear that she won the book. Now, Max and Patricia Brooks are going to share the book. So that's it, Max. You've got to be cooking at it too. And Mary Campbell was the other winner. So, of course, there will be a giveaway later in the show. So stay tuned and let's see how that goes. I wonder what it will be. So this week, we're on episode 2 of season 2. And I decided, because I'm at my gorgeous Kimmy's. Now, can I just tell you, Kimmy and I have known each other since, when is it, grade 6?
5.
Grade 5, yes. So we've gone way, way back. And so I keep her very close because she knows too much. Knows way too much, don't you, Kimmy?
I do.
Yes, but then back at ya. Now, the recipe that I'm going to make today, I thought, let's do something really easy because I'm kind of on holidays in Port Macquarie and it's a beautiful day here. I thought, let's do a recipe that basically I think I could do blindfolded, and that's my Mexican dip. Now, it's out of book 3, so that's the book we're going to be using today. And this is the fabulous recipe. And seriously, guys, if you haven't made this, what's wrong with you? It's fabulous. So now, of course, it's Kimmy's birthday today. We flew in today. And so I'm thinking this is drinkies this afternoon. Of course, I'll have my iced water. And we will be having this in the afternoon before we go out. So how fantastic to have this if you've got any events coming up or any social gatherings. It is a winner. So let me show you how to make Mexican dip book 3. So let's look at the ingredients. Straight off, we start with a jar of salsa. Now you can have it mild, medium or hot. It's really up to you. Like my daughter Kelly will always go mild because even if it looks like it's near the chili, she'll know it. But for me, I quite like it hot because then it's got that real kick to the heat in it. And it's Mexican, so it's up to you. So we get a jar of the salsa. You've got the refried beans, avocado, tomato. You've got some low salt taco seasoning. You've got capsicum, shallots, the grated cheese, I've done that ahead, and then you've got the natural yogurt. And because they're the low fat and no fat yogurts. So basically it's those ingredients. Now I'm going to start first with the base. So what I normally use is like, back home I've got quite a beautiful, it's actually a pasta bowl, but I really love using that for the dip. But today I wanted to use something where you could actually see it. And so I've used my pie plate. So you can use whatever you like, really. So we're going to start with the first layer. And that is with using the refried beans and the salsa. Now, just a thing, remember we have to set our kitchen. So I've got my bin, Kimmy's got my little bin ready for me. I've got the soapy water in the sink because, I mean, you know, maybe Kim might wash up for me later, I don't know. No, it's her birthday, she's not doing anything today. So the refried beans, it's an interesting thing. I know it kind of looks a bit like, dare I say, dog food. But what it is, there's nothing fried about it, okay? I mean, what was the Mexicans thinking calling it refried beans? I don't understand it. But what it is just mushed up kidney beans. Just beans mushed up. There's nothing fried about it. And at this point, you know, you're not going to probably think it's that exciting. But stop it right now. Let's put the next thing in that gives it the magic. And that's the jar of salsa. So you just pour it in. And as you can see, I've opened a can and I've opened a jar. So the skill level of this is very low. It actually has a difficulty rating of 2. But really, if you know your way around the kitchen, this is probably a half because it's so simple. So we combine the salsa with the refried beans. Now, don't do what I did at one time. Let me just take this out of the bin and show you. See how it's just got refried beans? It's 99% fat free. There's some that actually are chili refried beans. Whew, way hot. So you don't need that one. So when you're in the supermarket, you can buy that in the Mexican section and just don't have it with the chili already in it. And look, you know, if I was normally, like we're making this for this afternoon, but I've made this in the morning and just cling wrapped it and it's ready to go for the party. So it's super easy. Now we've made the first layer. How hard was that? No difficulty at all. I might chuck it in the sink. I'll just scrape this out. Because we want all of it in there, don't we? Over in the kitchen in the sink. So I just leave it in the water and it'll just clean itself while I'm cooking now. So there we go. There's the first layer. How good is that? Now we're going to do the avocado. So I'll just show you a little trick with avocado because you know, sometimes it can be a bit of a challenge. Oh, look at that beautiful avocado. Thanks for buying the avocado, Kimmy. Obviously, Port Macquarie have really good avocados. I hate it when I open it up and it's all crap. Now, you know you can always take it back to the supermarket and tell them, got really bad avocados, I want my money back, but they'll always replace them. So please know that I've done that before. Okay, so now what we're going to do here is flick it in there and out it comes. Oh, they're telling me my necklace is out of whack. All right, guys, okay. I'm going to probably need about 1.5 avocados. What it is it's a cup of mashed avocado. See, I've got my little utensil container. I've got all my little bits and bobs. Even though I'm not in my own kitchen, I've still made it feel like home. And so you scoop out avocado. And now avocado is a really healthy fat. You know, like we look at certain things in your diet, and yes, I'm all about having a low-fat, healthy diet, and avocado is part of that. Same as like nuts are fantastic for you as well. But you've got to be aware that, so half an avocado has probably got about 25 grams of fat. Just be aware of that, okay? So I normally work on 30 grams, which is an eighth of an avocado. That's when I'm making a sandwich or something like that. So now we're using the salt-reduced taco seasoning because, of course, we're looking after your healthy heart as well as your hips, people. And we're going to do a tablespoon of the taco seasoning. Now, all you've got to do now is just mash that up. What do I do with my fork? Here it is. And just give that a mix up. So you can see that all I've done so far is just kind of just mixing things up in bowls and that, and it's super easy. Now, I have to be honest with you. I get asked to take this to all the places where I get invited to with parties. They all go, well, you will bring the dip, won't you, Annette? And I'm going, yes. And I actually think that I get invited to events because of the dip. That's how good it is. I mean, I'm sure they like that I come, but basically it's about bringing the dip because everybody loves it. And I love this dip because all age groups love it. Like the little kids will love it and us big kids as well. So I'm mashing up that avo. Now you need a cup of mashed avocado. And if you do, if you say, well, I want to put a bit more in, well, just be aware that it's going to change the fat count of the recipe when you change things a little bit. It's certainly up to you how you do it, but if you want to stick with the nutritional information that I've provided at the bottom of a recipe, then you need to stick with it as it is. All right, so let's measure a cup. See how close I've got. I think I'm looking pretty good here. Yep, I'll scrape that out and I'll have a cup there for sure. Let me just wash, 1 moment please. I'm just going to wash my little thing. I've got my tea towel. Okay, so let's, see I always think, if you get a good scraper like this, you get all your product, and why not? You don't want to be wasting food. All right, so now I'm going to do dobs of the avocado around. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I love taco stuff. Have you tried my Mexican meatballs in book 1? Ah, please. Fantastic. You have to try it. Now what I'm going to do is, then I'm just going to gently just spread the avocado around. You're just coating that because what the idea is that you go dipping all the different levels. So there's our avocado done, fabulous. Now we're going to put the yogurt. Let me just wipe my hands. Now we've had trouble, I don't know if you guys have been out in the supermarket, but trying to get the 200 gram little tubs of natural yogurt is seeming to be a little bit of a challenge. Come on, supermarkets, what are you doing? So we had to buy this big one, which is okay because you can use it for other things. I always check if there's a bit of whey in there and I just pour it out. But this one's pretty good actually. There's a little bit there, but it's not too much. So we want 200 grams. Oh God, I'm a messy girl. Which is probably about that much. So if you do find the 200, can you let me know where you're getting it from? Because I might just have to make a whole other dip in another couple of days to use it up because we don't want to waste it, do we? Now, if you want, you can use other things for this. Like I've used the natural yogurt and people will think it's like sour cream. They won't believe you when you say that it's just yogurt. I try not to mix it up too much so you're getting that white layer on the top. But you can actually use my simple sour cream. That is in book 3, which is in the book that I'm cooking this out of, or making this out of today. And it's absolutely fabulous. So it's another alternate for you if you want to try something a bit different. And because the traditional way, of course, was to use sour cream. Sorry, heart attack, not going there. All right, so now we're going to put the veggies on the top. You need a couple of shallots. Now, I call them shallots because I'm old. What do you call them, Kimmy?
I call them shallots.
What do you call them, Bill?
Spring onions.
Spring onions. I don't know. All right, so let's chop them up. Now, what I want to do is I want to just do them quite thin. Do it quite thin because you don't want big chunks of the veggies because you want to get through all the layers. And I'll show you at the end how you work with it. I love this for summertime. It's just such a great dip to take, and as you can see, it's super easy. So you sprinkle the shallots over the top. Now the fat count of this, it's about 16 people as an appetizer, and there's plenty there for everyone to share. So it's 4.5 grams of fat for a serve, and it has 77, not 700, 77 calories. So, actually I might use another knife. So it's perfect. Now I need 1/4 cup. Now I tend to go with green for the capsicum on this, because then I want the tomato to be the hero on there. And just really little dice, okay? Now they say that a green capsicum is actually a red capsicum that's just not ripe. Did you know that? See? Oh, Kimmy knew. Yes, you did. Well, it's amazing the little bits of information you get here on Thursdays with Annette. Thanks for joining me. How much fun is this to do this in Port Macquarie? All right, so we want 1/3. I'm going to guess it because I can't be bothered, because who cares, and it's not going to make a big difference. But if you want to be exact, then you know to measure it. Then we've got a tomato, and it's a 1/2 cup of tomato. Once again, let's do it thin. That's it. And small diced. Fantastic. So it's just chopping it all up. And as I said, you can make this ahead of time, cling wrap it, and fantastic. Sometimes if I've made it fairly early in the day, I don't do the cheese. I wait and do that just before I'm going out or before people arrive. Can you see how fantastic I am at chopping? Just chopping away. Okay, we want about 1/2 cup. That looks pretty fantastic. Now, the one thing that I love about this, and you know what, I hate to mention it already, Christmas. I know, it's coming, but this is really fantastic for Christmas because look at the colours, guys. Red, green, isn't it gorgeous? It looks Christmassy. And now we have 1/3 cup of the grated cheese. Now I use the 30% for this recipe. And voila! Let me get rid of this. God, I'm such a messy cook. I love your kitchen, Kimmy. So now let me tell you how it works, okay? You get a couple of spoons and put it in like that. Well, this is how I do it. Of course, you can do it however you like. I've got some crunchy dippers that I made and brought them down. So they're out of book 7. I'm obsessed with them, especially for this dip. But you can also use the rice crackers. They're fine as well. But what I do, would you like to try it, Kimmy? Yeah. Okay, so what I do is you go in with the spoon, put a thing on, and then if I wasn't going to talk to you, I'd just shove that in my mouth. There you go, darling. Happy birthday.
Ah, look, surprise.
So that's how it goes. Now, Country Dip is out of book 7. How is it?
Yum.
And once it's chilled a bit more, it'll be even fantastic. Now, of course, you need to get a gift from me because you've come and tuned in today, and it will be book 3. So I'm going to pick 3 fabulous people that will win book 3. How do you do that? Well, it's simple. You like where the video's up. You share it because we need to spread the word. And then in the comments, you write hashtag simply with the number 2 good. Now, if you do that for me, then you'll be in the running to win a cookbook, personally signed by me. And as I said, the guys from last week's show, it's already in the mail, so get ready for it. Okay, so who knew that weight loss could be so deliciously healthy? Come on, guys, get into this. I'm so excited, but I'm sorry, Kim, no more. We're going to cling wrap it and keep it for this afternoon. Now, next week's show is going to be fabulous. It's on portion control and learning about how that works in your life, because I think a lot of people are very confused over how much they should be having. So tune in next week. I'll be in my house ready for you at 2 o'clock next week. Don't forget www.simplytoogood.com.au, where you can get recipes and tips and fabulous stuff. And I look forward to welcoming you into my home next week. But in the meantime, it's party time. Happy birthday, Kimmy. Bye, everybody.